I only care about one thing in this world, and that's wrestling. Yeah, I could care less about the goddamn Super Bowl, Robert. All right, we're back on the air.
Oh, my
We're the
bad.
Malapert Smart Podcast. I got Vlad, the wrestling expert, here with me. Say hello, Vlad.
Hello, everyone. It's good to be here.
All right, cool. Thank you for joining us. We got a lot to talk about today. And we got
As
also
always.
Robert, my good friend, the Frozen Asian.
That's right. I'm here.
There you go. Thank you for being here, Robert. We appreciate any time you can give us to our humble podcast. You know, we need your expertise. Plus, you're our resident fan of The Rock, who has been involved heavily in the storyline lately. Believe it or not, yes, The Rock is back and involved in wrestling again. So I know you're happy about that in a way, but let's go over what's happened, because we did a segment. We recorded a show last week, and we didn't know what was going to happen on that SmackDown following, when Cody apparently stepped aside and was going to let The Rock fight Roman at WrestleMania, right?
Yes.
Because the last thing we saw, the three of us, was the Royal Rumble match, and then all of us predicted, yes, Cody's going to fight Roman, and this is it. That's for sure. There's no way. It's not going to be anything else unanimously. But there was that one thing hanging over it, was The Rock, because that was like the wild card. We weren't sure exactly how he was going to figure into this mix. So Friday came, last Friday, and Cody came out and he was supposed to make his decision and choose Roman, but The Rock's music hit. The Rock came out, they shook hands, gave each other a hug, and at that point it looked like the plan was absolutely that it was set to be Rock versus Roman, right, Vlad? At that point?
Yeah, for sure. Cody even said, I want to take everything that Roman has, but not at WrestleMania. So, like, what else are you supposed to think at that point? And then The Rock comes out, right? So, yes, they may have not said it exactly like, yeah, Rock and Roman at WrestleMania, but that's where it was going. Or else why would he say not at WrestleMania? So, yes, for sure that's what it was going.
All right, so then came the fan backlash and the We Want Cody movement, right, for many, many days, and it probably caused some chaos in management trying to scramble and figure out what to do. So I guess the next point in the storyline was yesterday, as we're recording this today on February 9th. So February 8th, Thursday, The Rock was on Pat McAfee's show, and he turned heel, basically, right? In the morning.
I didn't see this, but I heard about this.
Yeah, he came out and started calling Cody's fans crybabies. It doesn't matter what they want, the Cody crybabies and such. So then came the press conference, the WrestleMania kickoff show. It was in Las Vegas. Seth was there because supposedly he was going to face Cody, right, after everything that was planned. So Roman came out. He dissed Seth, said Cody lost his chance to pick his opponent, and now he's going to pick, and he picks The Rock as his opponent. So then The Rock came out, talked for a long time, right? Did his usual catchphrases like he usually does. And then they went through like the whole family tree of their family, supposedly, The Rock and Roman's family. Lots of love and respect between them this whole time, right? Which was kind of weird to me because they're supposed to have a match and fight, but it was all respect. Then Cody comes out, unannounced, no music. His music didn't hit. He just walks out and he goes, "This is bullshit," right? He said The Rock and Roman's grandparents would be ashamed of them if he was here today, which really offended The Rock and Roman. They were like fired up. And then he announced that he was going to actually pick Roman. Now, he changed his mind, right? After all that fanfare last Friday, passing the baton off to The Rock, and now he changes his mind. And then The Rock steps up to Cody and slaps him in the face. Lots of cursing, lots of talk crap about my family again, talk shit about my family again. It was rated R.
But it was all bleeped out, so I couldn't, I don't know if yours was bleeped out, but I didn't hear that.
Yeah, it was bleeped out for me too. I didn't hear all the cursing, but
I would have liked to hear that. That I would have liked to. Why are they on Peacock if they can't curse?
This wasn't on Peacock, it was on YouTube.
No, this was a
I
Peacock.
saw it on Peacock. When I saw it, I saw it live on Peacock.
Really? It was live on YouTube too. Both of them.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I thought it was only on YouTube because I was watching it on YouTube.
No.
Oh, no,
I was watching it on Peacock.
Yeah, me as well. I had no idea it was on YouTube.
So then there proceeds to be a pull apart, which Seth Rollins is involved in, just jumping around like a monkey for no reason. He was there to back up Cody, it seemed. In the feud that was happening at the moment and everything that happened, I guess he took Cody's side. but he's injured, so he can't really do anything to help him. But he was there. Okay. So then they go to the back. There's a reporter with Triple H, and they're asking him about, what happens now, what's going to be the main event. And then The Rock and Roman walk by, and The Rock tells Triple H to fix this shit, right? Fix this fucking shit. I think is what he was saying. Yeah, it was censored, but he was pissed off. All right. So then today on SmackDown, I don't know if you guys saw this. This just happened right now.
No, I didn't get to see SmackDown.
Came out to open the show, and he announced that it's going to be Roman versus Cody, and that it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. The Rock, I guess that means. So funny. All these years later, Triple H and The Rock are still involved with each other. But yeah, so The Rock thought he was going to stroll in and take the WrestleMania main event spot with his cousin, a match that we've been talking about for years, right? This was pre-pandemic.
Yes.
It would have been better at that point. It would have fit better, like in 2021 when Roman really had less going on. But now it was just the timing was wrong, and there was the fan backlash, and everyone thinks it's Cody's time. All right. So I've set up the scene. We've talked about everything that's happened so far that we know. Who wants to go first? Anybody want to make any comments about what's going on now?
Robert, if you want to go first.
Okay, sure. I'll go first. I want to first start off with something I did like, and that was Roman Reigns' promo on last week's SmackDown. I thought it was terrific when he was absolutely grilling Seth Rollins and basically calling his championship the loser bracket title.
Well,
I thought it was really cool. I felt like Roman Reigns meant every word that he said. I don't know if somebody wrote it for him, but I believed everything he said as if he really meant it. So then, yes, of course, Cody's decision to basically step aside and give the WrestleMania match to The Rock. All right, so... All right, well, Kayan already mentioned it. I'm a big Rock fan. So yes, if you didn't know, I'm a very big Rock fan. Probably the biggest Rock fan among the three of us here.
I thought you were going to say probably the biggest Rock fan in the world.
No, I wouldn't go that far. But, I still believe in fairness. If I see BS, I want to call it out. And what I saw happen was not cool. I immediately thought this was one of the worst booking decisions ever. Immediately, that was my first initial reaction. So let me talk about what would have been the potential Rock-Roman matchup. Yes, this is something a lot of fans, including myself, wanted to see. And it makes sense business-wise. This would be a big matchup. It's just the timing really, really sucks. The Rock versus Roman Reigns on paper, without the context of what's been going on for the past couple of years regarding Cody's angle of finishing the story, without that context in mind, yes, absolutely, I want to see that. But given what has been happening for the past couple of years involving Cody and the fans wanting to see him finish the story, this timing absolutely sucks for this Rock-Roman matchup. So yes, it makes sense business-wise, but it sucks for the people like us who are invested in Cody finishing the story. We wanted to see it happen. We wanted to see it happen last year. We wanted to see it happen this year at WrestleMania. So anything that gets in the way of that, we're going to feel a certain type of way about that. Even me, a huge Rock fan, I'm not okay with this. Let me just get back to my initial thoughts. When Cody made the decision to step aside for The Rock, another thing that I thought was this really sets a bad precedent for future Royal Rumbles. If they really did go through with this whole Rock and Roman match, this really sets a bad precedent for future Royal Rumbles because traditionally, Royal Rumble was always the pay-per-view where the winner of the Royal Rumble gets to challenge, the champion at WrestleMania. But for the winner to now just say, oh, you know what, I want to go after you, but on this other pay-per-view, this essentially makes Royal Rumble another Money in the Bank. It's just missing the briefcase. So you kind of devalue one of your major PLEs. That's like one of the big four, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. Is it really one of the big ones now if it's just essentially another Money in the Bank? So that was a horrible idea. So we'll see if they really did right this ship, then good, because then that did save future Royal Rumbles as well.
Can I make a comment, Robert?
Okay.
I mean, in regards to Cody stepping aside last Friday, if you want to try to make sense out of it at all, let's say we wanted to try to make sense of their original plan where he was going to let The Rock face Roman and I guess lose the leader of the bloodline, the head of the table. That was the one little line that kind of made sense. Like, you know what? I don't want to just take the Universal title from you. I want to make sure you lose everything.
Okay.
I guess. But it also didn't make sense because him going for the World Heavyweight title is just not the story that they've been telling. They've been telling that he needs the WWF title, the one that Dusty never won. That's finishing the story. That's literally the story. So that was the negative of him stepping aside. Okay, I have more comments to make about this, but I want to let you finish or let Vlad go.
Okay, I'll just get through the press conference. So yes, I was thoroughly entertained by the press conference, by the way. And I'm glad that Cody did interrupt The Rock and Roman Reigns and did end up challenging Roman Reigns for WrestleMania for the title. The only thing is, I don't think he did enough during that segment to explain why he initially decided to step aside for The Rock. I wish he did a little more to explain that part. Because that still feels, at least up to that point, it still felt like a plot hole that needed to be addressed. But other than that, okay, if you know what you mentioned about what happened in SmackDown, that is now official, it's really just Cody versus Roman, then, well, I'm more for that than I am for The Rock versus Roman, for sure, for this WrestleMania. But, all right, we'll see what Vlad thinks about this.
All right, Vlad, you have the floor.
Oh, thank you. Well, look, I basically share a lot of the same thoughts that Robert just had. It was really disappointing when Cody said that he was going to give up the spot because obviously they've been building towards this for a while. Now, I understand business is business, but really, people are going to watch WrestleMania anyways. The show's already sold out. So it's not like they're going to get more tickets from this. So I'm not sure really what they're gaining putting The Rock and Roman in. I mean, I understand like if they thought like they could sell more tickets, used to be more buys, but now everybody's watching on Peacock or illegal streams. So it doesn't even matter pretty much for the most part about the buys, the pay-per-view buys, you know? So I guess what I'm saying is it really didn't make sense for them to just all of a sudden put The Rock in. It really felt fishy. It felt like because now The Rock is on the board of directors for that company, he kind of put himself in there. So yeah, there was a backlash, and I'm glad there was a backlash. I'm surprised that it was as big as it was. I thought people were just going to be like, okay, I mean, yeah, we wanted Cody there, but if it's going to be The Rock and Roman, that's cool too, you know? I actually thought that's what people would say, but I'm glad people felt like, I think me and Robert and Theon felt that this was going to just not be a good situation all the way around, especially considering all the work they had put into Cody the last couple of years. So I think it was definitely a pivot that they had to do during the press conference because they were feeling it. Like me and Keanu were going back and forth on the text messages. They knew that if they stuck with Roman and Rock, the crowd would ruin the main event. They would just be booing the whole time asking for Cody. Like, where's Cody? We want Cody, you know, things like that. So in that sense, they had no choice, I feel. They realized they kind of had to pivot and they kind of made The Rock heelish and then full-fledged heel when he slapped Cody. So overall, they did a really good job of kind of getting themselves out of it by having a really entertaining press conference, which I thought was fascinating. The whole thing was just amazing. The last 15, 20 minutes of the press conference was just amazing. I was trying to work and pay attention at the same time, and I just stopped working, man. I just stopped working. I was like, my mouth was wide open, like this, as I was watching it. Like, what is going to happen next, you know? Because I didn't know about the Pat McAfee interview. I mean, I heard Michael Cole and CM Punk maybe mentioned it in the thing, like that he said something like that, and Pat McAfee show, but it didn't like dawn on me that they flipped him heel like that.
I think that was the key to this whole thing. That's the reason it made sense for Cody to change his mind.
But yes, once The Rock said that, I think two things happened. Yeah, you're right. Once The Rock said that and the crowd reaction to The Rock, both of those things were a turning point and a reason that they had to kind of pivot out of the situation as best as they could. And they did. They did it. I think they did it. I don't know what The Rock's going to do now at WrestleMania or what he's going to do if he's going to be at Elimination Chamber. There's been some talks of maybe like he'll be in a tag match of some sorts, or maybe they'll have a tag match night one and it'll still be, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of options. I mean, I'm not going to even guess because I have no idea. I haven't been able to figure out this whole thing since it started, so why should I even guess now?
Well, let's hear your guess. Throughout the journey to WrestleMania, we'll have new information and our guesses will change. But yeah, so what is your guess of how WrestleMania is going to end? Is it just going to be Cody finishing his story now? They're just going to give in to the fan backlash?
Yeah, they have to. Now they really They have to. There is no choice. If they somehow have Roman hold on to the title, if he fights Cody at WrestleMania, I know we let it go last year, but I think there could be a full-fledged riot on our hands, or at the very least, maybe not a physical riot, but like they could honestly lose viewers. People will be disgusted based on the fact of everything they put into having Cody, quote unquote, finish the story and hold the title that his daddy never held, right? That's the whole situation.
Well, WrestleMania is in Philadelphia, right? That's where ECW was originally, like where they held their events, wasn't it?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so I know what the crowd can be like over there. So it would be, yeah, full-fledged riot. I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, as a riot, or at the very least, they will have the same type of reaction as they're having to The Rock taking Cody's place. Just the crowd reaction and the people on social media are just going to kill this on every level if somehow Roman holds on to the title. So yes, I think it's going to happen. The only question is what they do with The Rock. There's a lot of talk back and forth that maybe The Rock is not actually a full. I mean, he is a heel now, but maybe he's going to turn face again and actually help Cody win. There's a lot of talk going on left and right. I don't know really what's going to happen. That is actually a good part of I'll give them credit that they've kept us guessing somewhat on this whole thing. I mean, usually a lot of wrestling is predictable, so I'll give them that much. I don't know which way it's going to go 100%. Like, I don't know what you do with The Rock now. I have no idea what you do with The Rock. I mean, do you have him maybe do something in a tag with Roman for night one, maybe? But still have Roman. Listen, I don't know. I guess my point is I don't know.
You guys make these predictions. I got the answers, just like I always do. All right? Let me tell you exactly what's going to happen. Are you ready for this?
Oh, good God. Should I take notes?
Look, I'm sorry, Vlad. I don't feel it like you guys. I don't think it's Cody's time. It's not Cody's time.
Oh, man.
It's not Cody's time. The Rock is going to come out and rock bottom Cody and join the bloodline and help Roman win the match. Yeah. Stunned silence, I see.
No, but not really, because he's kind of already joined the bloodline. But
well, there you go then. So now they have Solo.
They walked out. They walked out together.
And The Rock. There's no way he's going to lose that title. I think the original plan was to have him fight The Rock because he was going to beat The Rock, whatever, even if he had to cheat or whatever. The Rock was going to be another notch in his belt to build up Roman's legacy. I don't think it's time for Roman to lose the title. And some people say the dark hand of Vince McMahon is still hovering over this company, and he has an influence and a plan that he started. Cody finishing his story is the only thing they got going. If they do that, like Vlad says sometimes in WWE, where do they go from there? They don't have anything lined up. They can't just come up with something from scratch. What are they going to do, like Tony Khan, have a title tournament? Okay, Cody's a champion now. We're going to have a title tournament to determine the number one contender. It's not going to happen, guys. I'm sorry. Cody's not finishing his story this year.
Well, you made some decent points. I just want to retort. My only retort is this. I think we all like Roman and Cody, like as wrestlers, as characters and whatnot, but we can both agree since last year's WrestleMania, neither really have really been doing that much of like interesting things. I think Roman's had his day. Like, I think it's time to like have somebody else as the champion. I mean, he had more than his day now. He's had it for a couple of years. And Cody's kind of not really been doing that much either. I mean, they're always trying to find things for him to do to get to this point, to get to WrestleMania. So, I mean, what are they going to have him do if he loses again? Yeah. That's the question. So, like, where does he go?
Gotta get back to work. Wake up, take a shower, put a suit on, keep going.
No,
you gotta keep trying.
I agree with you in premise. I agree with you, but in actuality, based on everything that's happened, they really do.
Life ain't always a fairy tale, man. Just because Cody thinks he's gonna finish this story this year doesn't mean it's necessarily gonna happen. So sorry.
I mean, look,
the way Roman's schedule is recently, rarely showing up. Now you got to put it on Cody. At least we know he'll always be there almost every show. So
well, I guess we'll see when WrestleMania comes around, and then you guys are gonna hand me another gold star for another perfect prediction, just like last year's All in London. But okay, let's see what happens. Let me move on, though. It's enough talk about the Universal title. It's been 25 minutes. I'll just mention another thing if you guys are curious about the other title, the World Heavyweight title. They announced what's going to happen with that, too. And I'm not really ruining anything for you or spoiling anything good. It's not like anything exciting. They're going to have it at the winner of the Elimination Chamber. So there's like 6 qualifier matches starting right now on SmackDown and I guess this Monday on Raw. So Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton are already in the Elimination Chamber from wins tonight. And then some other guys who are probably going to be in it is LA Knight, KO, Lashley, and Logan Paul. So that seems like a really good Elimination Chamber match.
Yeah. It doesn't sound bad.
I don't know who's going to win out of those. I mean, I could see Drew McIntyre or Randy Orton. Because I could see Drew versus Seth or Randy Orton.
You don't think LA Knight would be...
That would be cool, too.
Yeah. I have to say that based on the work he's doing, I would love it for it to be Drew. I mean, he's just been crazy good lately. I mean, I don't know what's gotten into him, how this happened.
Yes.
That shirt he wore on Monday Night Raw.
What this transformation, like, how did he become this great promo? Like, I'm just, like, the last couple, like, really the last month, I don't even know where it's coming from. Because he's never done this his whole career. I've never heard him. I've never heard any of like this. I'm like, what is going on? He's amazing.
He blames his failed title run during the pandemic because of the pandemic and there being no audience. I think it's more because he was just a babyface and it was kind of boring. Him as a heel right now is really working really well.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I agree with you. But I don't know what they're going to do with that exactly. I don't know what he should win it. I mean, I think they should change some title.
I think he should win it.
You think they're going to change the Universal title that night, so maybe there won't be 2 title changes. But I don't think that's going to happen. So I think this is the title that's going to change hands at WrestleMania.
Well,
that's my
prediction. I mean, due to that injury, you would think he's going to lose the title based on the fact that he's banged up.
All right. Well, that's all we got so far for WrestleMania news and such. So let's put a pin on that. Whenever we get more info for what's going to happen at WrestleMania or stuff leading towards WrestleMania, we'll do another segment in our series. You can check out the past segments in this series. We have a playlist in the description below, Road to WrestleMania 2024, by the Malapert Marks, starring Vlad and Robert. So check that out. If you like some content, if you got nothing to do, you need to kill some time at work or something, put an earbud in and listen to the Malapert Smart podcast. Please subscribe also. We're on our way to 1,000 million billion subscribers. And we need to hit that subscribe button.
Subscribers.
Yes. And also, if you want to listen to the show, it's on all podcast platforms and such. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. I think that one's going away, though, soon, from what I hear. But anyways, thanks, guys. We'll be back to talk some AEW after this. So subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll let you know when that video gets released. We're going to talk about Sting and Darby Allin winning the tag team titles. We got to get some AEW in, guys.
I'm leaving.
Oh, my God. You want to leave for this segment? I'll just have the Macho Man's picture right there. I'll talk with Robert.
Oh, yeah. AEW.